Today is May 23rd, 2017. Going to go over kind of the hottest stock of the day, several today, GLYC, and how it potentially relates to some other plays kind of coming next week, or really especially going into the future. So GLYC is the crazy low float squeezer from last week. Done several videos about this, talked about it a lot. You can go back to the daily chart and see what it did last week. Everybody, quote unquote, air quotes, everybody was short in the sevens. Everybody was short in the tens. And then you come into yesterday. It kind of didn't do that much yesterday. Closes weak on the day. There's an announcement of an offering. Again, everybody says they're saved, but what we've seen in these low float shorts is, the offering isn't the slam dunk that it used to be. And really, before the offering news comes, or just even after the run-up, there's nothing wrong with not trading GLYC on Thursday or Friday or yesterday. But what we've been seeing, all the time in StocksToTrade Pro is these low floaters, and I've done a bunch of videos on low float. If that's a new term to you, feel free to ask questions in the comments. But I've done tons and tons of videos. We have float built into basically every single tool in StocksToTrade. The screeners, the high of day, the watch list. Everywhere you can see the float and track it. So watch past videos, ask questions if you're unsure about that. But what I want to talk about today is basically these red to green moves on these heavily shorted low float stocks. Now, how do I know GLYC is heavily shorted? I don't know. There is no number I can pull out of a platform that tells me exactly how many people have shorted it over the last 3 days. Short interest is not available on a day-to-day basis yet. Anywhere it is not available. So I think that will change in the future, but right now it's not, never has been. So what I do is, I use the Twitter tools built into StocksToTrade. I see a stock like GLYC that's up, 50 or 100% last week. I start watching the Twitter sentiment, and you'll see everybody bash. And these are the stocks that then rip higher quickly. Now, again, day one, feel free to avoid. If you're busy, if the stock is too scary, you can do that. Then what I do is I just have my low float watch list. I create a new watch list in StocksToTrade. I add a column, just like here for the float. I plug in all the low float tickers. You can see in any watch list whether or not the stock is red or green on the day. And I detach that watch list, stick it up in the corner, and I wait for exactly these types of moves. I can also set alerts. Lots of times, especially something like GLYC that I know is going to be in play. How do I know? Again, a lot of it is experience. A lot of it is seeing what's being said on Twitter and elsewhere. But again, timestamp right here, 9:14 a.m. This is StocksToTrade Pro, which is the mentorship program built on top of StocksToTrade. Direct quote, 9:14 a.m. GLYC, 2 scenarios. No offering pricing today. This could for sure squeeze, or offering comes out and the price is positively. This could get really ugly for short. We got option 1, no pricing. I did not expect this type of squeeze yet. There's rumors the offering may price tonight. Option 2 could still be in play. If that offering prices positively, who knows where this stock could go. So that being said, I watch all of these. When you get a 50%, 100%, or even more runner that's less than 10 million float, I put it on my low float watch list until it falls apart. I don't short low float stocks. Please don't short low float stocks. You may see people talking on Twitter, bragging about crazy profits shorting these. Please don't do it. There's no edge there. It's complete gambling. If you make money shorting a low float stock, you got lucky, in my opinion. So anyway, back to my process. Day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. These stocks have been holding up way beyond the normal amount of, 2 or 3 or 4 day runs we've seen in the past. And then anytime I see green on that watch list with volume, I'm checking out the chart and I'm looking for this exact type of move where it goes green. And then I particularly would have targeted the break of that pre-market high at 1150 with risk. Basically, you got to kind of have a wide stop on these. Normally in a day trade, I would not have a 50-cent stop, but I wanted this thing to rip to new highs. Then you just set, make sure you're sized appropriately. Okay, if you're gonna give a stock 50 cents of range before you stop out, you got to have pretty small size. You need to calculate that. We talk about that a lot in pro as well. But I would have given this a 50 cents of range, basically back on red. If it doesn't go red, then the potential for the squeeze is definitely there. Great setup. Did I expect it to go to 14 plus today? From that potential at 1150, $3 of upside, and it's not done yet. It's still not even 3 o'clock. We may get a continuation into the close. I did not expect a $3 move on a high a day break, but did I expect $1.50, a big move? Yes. I mean, again, look at my quote from this morning, timestamp 9:14 a.m. You can see the potential is definitely there. Closing up, HMNY. Put this one on watch. Security play related to the unfortunate incident in Manchester last night. They have I'm not fully versed on the technology, but they have like a crowdsourcing app to help report mass terrorism, mass unrest situations like that. Stock is up big today. Was up, I think, at one point almost 100%. It's now pulled back. It's low float. They had recent earnings. It's got a hot story related to the unfortunate incident. I will be putting this on my low float watch and watching every day until it completely fails and the volume dries up. I'll be watching red to green moves every day on HMNY and GLYC. Keep this on your radar. Depending on how the offering comes out, could get very interesting. So, low flow stocks, guys, I love them, especially if you've got a small account, if you're getting started. Great potential risk to reward on the long side of these. Please don't short them. Watch them for red to green moves, and don't let them fall off your radar until they truly give back all their gains. As long as they maintain those big moves and the volume doesn't completely come out, there's always that potential that they could squeeze higher. So set your alerts, run your watch list, and we'll see you tomorrow.